Welcome and hello to episode 3 of We're All in IB Together. Today I have Kirill, our guest on the podcast.
Hello, guys.
Me and Kirill we're in the same school and the same grade, so we're kind of on the same type of side of IB. We have the same type of experience. We both take chemistry HL.
Yeah.
And then obviously English and math, we take the same thing. You take what?
Let's start like that. I'll just go through my HLs and SLs, so you guys will actually, take. You'll see the whole picture, I'd say, because the thing we're going to talk about is time management.
Yeah.
And when it comes to my subjects, the time management is quite tricky, to be honest.
Yeah.
So for high HLs, I'm doing chemistry HL, with Aya.
Yeah.
Then I'm doing physics HL and I'm doing math AA HL.
Yeah.
So a killing combo. A lot of people wouldn't do that, and I would understand why, because it's
I wouldn't recommend.
I wouldn't recommend doing it. However,
Tough.
if you want a good, for example, if you go to engineering, I'd say I'll recommend that set, but it depends. If you want to do biology, engineering, then go biology.
Yeah.
So you can switch sciences.
Yeah.
And for SLs, I have French, I have English, which I take with Aya as well, and I have economics.
Yeah. I'll start with a question. Do you think that certain classes take more time than others?
I'd say so, yes. So some of them are purely content-wise. Like, for example, economics, you have to do a lot of writing and a lot of remembering.
Yeah.
And I'd say, in terms of practice, for example, physics and math take a lot of time, because it's not just learning the content, you have to practice it every day. It is very recommended because, for example, HL, AA is the highest difficulty, and there's paper 3, which is, I have no idea what I'm going to do about, because it will be hell. So it takes a lot of time just to get the hang of it.
Yeah. Just for note, we are in year 13, aka DP2. So we have finished our first year and we're going into our second year. So I think it's a bigger scope of perspective that comes from us. You think some subjects which subjects that you take, do you think take most of your time?
The most of my time, it takes, the thing is that in assessments, especially internal assessments and extended essay, take a lot of my time. I'm kind of, let's say, I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot or not, but I'm doing my extended essay on physics. So that is it was a bad decision, in my opinion. Of course, it will be beneficial for me if I'm going to do engineering, because I am going to do chemical engineering in the future. I'm planning to, at least. And so doing physics E was, maybe I should have done a chemical E, but still.
It fits your passion.
Yeah, it does. So I'm more of a direct person. So
I feel like for me, it's definitely the more study heavy ones, the ones that you have to like for example, bio HL is so much content, and it's like bio is not the type of thing where you can forget small details. You have to remember all the details, all the tiny stuff. And practice is more in terms of like remembering memory. Obviously, you have to know how to answer that. It's like more of the content. So content heavy ones definitely take a lot more time.
Economics is very similar. A lot of my, at least classmates, they take a long time actually understanding economics, because there's just too much. However, if there is one advantage, is that if you understand the basics of economics, so I feel like I understand the basics of economics. I understand a lot of stuff, because all of them are interconnected. So that's economics for you.
For me, I take psychology, but I take it online, so it's a bit different for me.
Yeah, it is a bit different.
I take it on
It is more flexible.
Very much more flexible, and I feel like, I don't know if they move at a slow pace just to accommodate for us, but I feel like I finish my work in like an hour if I really lock in. So it's really different. Honestly, I don't study psychology that much. I just practice some stuff. The studying for psychology comes like before the exam.
I see.
Is it there? Anyways, and then there's also math. Like, I know I need to start giving more time to math just because for me it's like I don't have to study it, I have to practice it, so I just forget.
Because AHL, it is it's not just like AI. Some of our classmates, they're doing AI, and in my opinion AI is way easier. The thing is they don't even have AHL.
Yeah.
There is an IB in general, but in our school we don't have AIHL, we have only AISL. So I don't feel like they're that challenged, and AI is considered, like generally it's considered way easier than AA.
Yeah.
So when it comes to A, we need to do a lot of things.
It's a lot of content. We go very fast. Oh my god, our teacher goes very fast.
Yeah, I'm scared of calculus, to be honest. We
Yeah,
didn't do it yet, so we
unit.
did 4 topics.
It's our next unit. Okay, so I think
Okay, so wait a sec. Okay, so I'd like to talk about a very important, I'd say, phenomenon or an effect. We call it a snowball effect, and I guess people that listen to this may understand what I'm talking about. So that is mainly when you got a deadline and you're being late for it. So you feel like, okay, I'm late for my deadline, maybe I'll extend it. And some teachers, they do give you an extension if it is a school-based deadline. But while doing that, the thing is, your deadlines, they're accumulating with time if you cannot keep up with them. So for example, I had my EE to do during the summer, and I didn't do it this summer. I was relaxing. It was my last school summer. I'm going to university after this, so yeah, it's gonna be tough in my opinion. However, so this September, it was horrible in my opinion, especially for me, because it was EE deadline I had to do. Then I had to do my 2 economics essays to write. Then it was math internal assessment, and it was really harsh. So what I did is in order to not waste time, I just closed away. So I refused to go on any parties or to go on meeting ups with my friends, for example. I couldn't hang out with anyone. I was just sitting in my room, and I was just doing the thing that I was supposed to do during the summer. And these past 3 weeks of September, the last week of September was more or less durable. So these first 3 weeks of September, they were hell for me. I was sleep deprived also after these 3 weeks, and I'd say also on the last week of September I also experienced burnout. So that's when I was mentally unable to do anything. So I was mentally tired. I came home and I knew that I need to do an assignment, for example, and I couldn't do it. I would just go to sleep. I wouldn't even go out. I just wanted to do nothing. I would just put on the music on, and that's it. Yeah, or scroll on the media, on like TikTok or Instagram.
Yes.
Like that is. The burnout is crazy after it. However, you recover, and I recovered. Thank God I did.
Speaking of burnout, just so we can touch on that topic, how do you deal with it? How do you notice it first, and how do you deal with it? And how do I
notice it first is when I understand that when I know I need to do something, like my consciousness, it says that, it screams to me that, man, the deadline is tomorrow, or the deadline is in 2 days. Come on, you have to do something. I feel the burnout when I say to myself, it's fine, I'll do it tomorrow, I just want to rest.
Yes.
That is when I feel that the burnout is present.
Or even when, like, for me, I would get up, go to a cafe, pull up my laptop, and then open it, and I'm like, I just no.
Yeah, it's just
waste the whole time. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad. How do you let it pass? How do you get rid of it?
So first of all, I need to meet all my deadlines. So this was my number 1 goal, and I
get it done.
Yeah, get it done. And I didn't plan anything for me.
Yeah.
For myself, like for example, leisure. For example, I didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
However, there was a point when the deadline was even closer to me than I thought, because my E deadline was on 22nd of August. Not August. The new deadline was on 22nd of September.
Yeah.
However, I put the deadline on 13th of September, and I'm gonna tell you why. So the thing is that at that time, my friend was making a birthday party, and so I understood that I could not go to it if I didn't complete my E. So what I did is I tried very hard to complete my E during this, I'd say, a week and a half, I'd say. Of course, many people will tell me that it's not how you do it. It will be very rushed, and I will agree with you. I think it is quite rushed. However, I did do some adjustments later on. So the thing is that the skeleton, so the base itself, it already was there. So the only thing is I need to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
So good news, I was able to go to the birthday and I had my fun. However, the next day I understood, well, I got 4 days away and I need to do my two economics essays in my math IA. And so I was like, well, let's do again another loop of torture.
Yeah,
and so
I think
later on, so when I did all my assignments, all my deadlines, what I did is I would just go out with my friend, and then just go and play ping pong or play pool and just talk about stuff, like anything.
Just have fun.
Yeah, just have fun. That's what I do after.
And obviously with burnout, everyone takes it differently. Everyone has it differently.
True,
for me, for example, I cannot do anything. I cannot do anything. For me, I just have to let it pass and make sure that there's no collateral damage. Like if there's any extensions I could ask for, I do that. If there's anything that, so I already have the assignments I didn't do. Any assignments that are assigned to me now, I get them out of the way. So I try not to have a snowball effect like we were talking about.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just can't do it. And for me, I have to let it pass. I have to not do anything. I have to rest. I have to play. I have to sleep. And it's I think one of the big things I noticed when we started doing IB is that I didn't know how to rest. I don't know how to rest. I just start scrolling. Maybe I sleep. But I felt like that wasn't enough rest. I never felt rested. And I think I had to learn the different types of rest. There's emotional rest. There's creative rest. There's physical movement rest. Even sometimes for people like us, at least, we study all the time, so we're sitting. Sometimes movement is a type of rest for us. Emotional rest. Sometimes you just need to talk.
For example, swimming, it's very calming. Of course, if you do hardcore swimming, you need
not
to do,
really.
it would be hard. However, it does give you a little bit of to clear your head. For example, while swimming, you don't need to think about anything. You just swim.
Yeah.
I said, of course, you need to care about technique, but
You swim.
It's only you don't need to think about anything else. You're just swimming and you're training, which is good for your body.
I think burnout is associated with a lot of feelings. I feel annoyed at myself. I feel pissed at myself. I feel this is not gonna pass. I'm so unproductive. Yappa. But it's just I don't know about others. I don't know. Maybe you did too. But I feel burnout was such a theme of my DP1. That was the whole year. I was burnt out every other week. I think I was not burnt out for 2 weeks in the whole year. It was really bad.
For me,
really bad.
the DP2 is the hardest in my opinion, because me personally, I'm very bad. So I consider, or at least I consider myself good with schoolwork in general. In school, doing tests, for example, exams, I'm good with this. Yeah. However, my main problem is I'm very inefficient when it comes to something I need to do outside of school. Internal assessments, same extended essay.
Assignments.
Yeah, assignments that I have to do at home. And homework doesn't count. I can do it in on a break or lunch. But
the big ones.
But the big ones, I try to do them at home, and sometimes I make it in time, sometimes don't, and I disappoint my teachers, but it is very important to not create these situations when you feel embarrassed when you're trying, when there is a deadline and people are waiting results from you and you're not bringing them, letting them down. That is a horrible feeling in my opinion. Nice,
But I feel it's a big, I feel the prevention part of it, the bigger part is time management.
Yes.
I think it divides into two. You have the first, prevention of burnout, and it divides into time management and rest. A lot of people are like, I'm gonna finish all my. That was me actually. That's not a lot of people. That was just me. I'm calling myself out. Last year, I'd be like, I'm gonna finish everything right now and all of this and stuff like that, and I never did because I was getting burnt out because I wasn't resting.
Yeah.
So what are your main techniques for like time management?
So main thing is, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people need to do it, is create. So get the workbook, or like for example a little book where you will write
planner.
A planner, planner to get to write all your deadlines and what you want to do throughout the day. So it is very important what you want to do throughout one day, and you need to make everything for it to happen.
You need to write it down too.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so it's not. So you need to set goals, objectives, which is, and they need to be smart. Yeah, they need to be realistic. That's the main part, and they need to be measured. So you need to, and time efficient, I'd say.
Yes.
So, for example, complete an E within a day. That is an unrealistic. Or maybe it is realistic, but it is going to be very bad. So it is an unrealistic objective that you can do.
Yeah, even if it is realistic, it calls for burnout.
Yeah, it calls for burnout. That's why within this planner, so you can just put some checkpoints, like where you can rest and do absolutely nothing. So that's that is my strategy personally.
Yeah. I feel like I do something very similar. I think every person has their own time management techniques. So like there's stuff that work for me and there's stuff that don't work for me. There's, on the other hand, it works for everyone else. Like say for example, Pomodoro. You know, it's like 20 minutes rest.
The restaurant.
No.
There is a restaurant in Ukraine like that.
No, I'm talking about like it's like a technique where you study for, I think, like it obviously you can change that. But like the gist of it is you study for, say, an hour and you rest for 10 minutes, and then you study for an hour, rest for 10 minutes until you're done with your work, right? And so that's something that at some point in my life it didn't work, then now it works, and then sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's this studying live. His name is Enrico Vincent. He's such a sweet guy, and studying with him on live sometimes, like obviously he's the one who's talking to us, but it's still sometimes effective. Like when I'm burnt out or I don't want to do anything, right? I
see.
So I feel like everyone has their own techniques and stuff like that, but I feel like even me and myself, I had a big evolution of time management. Like I think that was like the biggest lesson of IB.
Yeah.
For me at least, yeah.
And it will, you know what, it will be very important and very effective in our adulthood.
Yes, very much, yeah.
This is probably the most important skill you need to learn. Ever. And the thing is, it is the earlier the better.
Yeah.
That is the main probably lesson we need to learn.
Yes, and efficiency in general too. Like, I remember when I first started IB, I was studying psychology. And it would take me a whole hour to get like through 2 paragraphs, and I'd be like, enough studying for today after 2 paragraphs. Versus now I can get through so much so efficiently because I know exactly what I need, like in and out very quickly. I know I can do. Even I look back and I'm like, wow, I'm doing a lot more work. Or like I finished my my bio IA. I didn't finish it overnight, but it's like you do it and then. Actually typing it up, I finished it in a day.
That's good.
Like I think 2 days it took me to type up everything and like present my results and everything. So it's definitely an evolution. At first I was like, no, I want to do like my to-do list online. I used to use Todoist, but now I have my physical planner. It evolves and it changes a lot. But as long as you find whatever works for you, and if it changes, you just go with it. Go with the change. But how do you think your time management changed from IB?
Oh, it changed a lot. So before IB, I was go with the flow guy.
Yeah.
So it was like that.
Yeah. For me, it was like I used to keep all my deadlines in my head.
Oh,
and I would submit everything on time. I don't know how I did that, but now it's like.
Yeah, I understand. There's too many right now, so that's why we need to write everything down.
Yeah. Okay, the last thing we'll talk about is the no time phenomenon. I feel like last year for me, it's just like I felt like there was like, even though we all have 24 hours a day, I felt like I have 3, and I would take them and sleep, go to school, study, sleep, and it was like no time for rest, no time for anything.
It becomes like a routine.
Yeah, I feel like right now I'm feeling different about that. I feel like it's just like I just need to study for 2 hours today, and then I have the rest of the day to myself.
That is very interesting because I have the opposite thing, because that's probably because you completed your IAs in time and I didn't. So that's why I'm feeling a bit rushed and pressured.
Yeah.
So yeah, every person has different, and guys, last just my last advice until we finish this off, please don't bail out like on your time, or like a planner, for example. Do it as soon as possible.
Yeah,
because it will really.
That's what I'm working on. Like I would plan everything, and I would put it down, and I would even block the time for it in my schedule on my calendar, and then I would just like not do it. And also, like, I think you need to, like, the last thing I'll say is that you need to sometimes accept that your tasks will never be fully done. You can't. In IB, you really have to learn to not be a perfectionist, because like they never finish. It's just today I finished much more than yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with me.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for my it's not a speech, but my my story of something that you should not to do.
Yes. And it happens to all of us. It's honestly a lesson we all have to do. Anyways, bye.
Goodbye.